You know, there are a lot of challenges involved in trying to preserve games and their design. There's the obvious stuff like, always online games, and games that are only sold digitally, which can disappear at any time. Those are a big issue. And even then, there are just games that are plain hard to track down. And, Nintendo recently has been getting rid of several very prominent ROM sites. Preserving video games is getting harder. But I think it's very important to preserve video games. I think all video games are worth being preserved. And that includes this one. After all, I did spend several hours practicing this rather unremarkable game, so that way I could be good enough at it to show off its design. And the game doesn't have a lot to talk about, that's for sure, but I don't think that means the design doesn't deserve to be seen. I think the game deserves to be seen and remembered. So, after I practiced the game, recorded it, and put it away in its box, I figured I was done, I bought the game, I practiced it so I was good enough at it to share it, I recorded it, I'm done. It's preserved. Nothing else can really go wrong unless I die before it gets uploaded. But there are things that can go wrong that I didn't even consider. So I like to share my videos in several places to make sure these games are always accessible, and the design and commentary of these games is always accessible. I obviously post all the videos to YouTube. I also make full long plays of nearly every game I Let's Play, which are available on a channel called the Long Play Archive. One of the places I share my videos is the Something Awful Let's Play subforums. And there's a pretty nice community of people in the Let's Play subforums. A lot of people who enjoy talking about video games and enjoy sharing odd video games. It's calmed down noticeably over the years, gotten a lot less tense than it was famed for. A lot of people taking Let's Plays less seriously, but also welcoming a more analytical viewpoint on things, being more open-minded in general. And I've Let's Played over, I think, 70 games now. I've shared 70 separate games at least with the Let's Play subforum on the Something Awful forums. And I really enjoy discussing games there, and I really enjoy having people who like watching my videos and seeing the things I'm trying to preserve. So, it seemed like a pretty good place to be. Seems like I had a good thing going. I wouldn't say Something Awful's Let's Play subforum is my primary audience, or YouTube is my primary audience, or anything like that, because I don't think about it like that. I just want as many people to see these games as possible. And if I manage to entertain them, that's also ideal. But being able to share these games on the Let's Play subforum and upload them later to the Let's Play archive, that's a pretty good way to keep these games alive. More exposure is better. So as I usually do, I made a post for this game, NRA Gun Club, on the PS2, and started a Let's Play of it in the Casual LP thread. Because this Let's Play is a bit more casual than my usual analytical style. And I figured it would go as normal in the Casual LP thread. Maybe one or two people would comment on the videos, but not really. But I still thought it was important to share them there, because having some people see it is more than none people seeing it. But apparently someone took great exception with the idea of me Let's Playing NRA Gun Club. And this was the problem I didn't foresee. Like, I just legitimately did not see this coming. I had the game recorded, I'd already practiced it. As far as I was concerned, all it was left was to commentate over it and upload it. But I uploaded the first video, and one of the mods of the Something Awful Let's Play subforum seemed to really dislike the idea that I was Let's Playing NRA Gun Club. Questioned how I, as a human being in 2018, could be playing and sharing this game. That's not really paraphrasing here. Let me get the post. Yeah, hold on. He said, as a human being in 2018, LPing this game is really fucking gross and grody. So he's basically insulting my worth as a human and telling me that it was gross to try and preserve this game. He then went on to say it doesn't deserve to be preserved and should be forgotten. Obviously, I took great exception with his philosophy that the game doesn't deserve to be preserved, and I also suggested that he chill the fuck out for directly insulting me as a person for Let's Playing this game. I'm not paraphrasing that either. I did tell him to chill the fuck out, because this game is in no way harming anyone, and neither are my videos of it. But people disagreed with my sentiment that this game was not harming anyone. Which, you know, that's fine. I don't want to make it sound like you can't say that. You're allowed to disagree with me. That's not upsetting to me in the slightest. You're allowed to disagree and think this game isn't worth preserving. You're allowed to think it's bad that I'm playing this game. I don't think it's okay to insult me for it, and I do think you should chill the fuck out. But when other people started agreeing with him and said, yes, it is harmful that you're playing this game, I decided, you know, it might be a good idea to figure out why it was harmful, as one does. You know, when you're confronted and told that something you're doing is harmful, generally you want to figure out why it's harmful, so you might be able to stop doing it, or figure out if it's harmful to begin with. But after a lot of conversation that went nowhere, because people kept repeatedly asking me, is this the hill I want to die on, without really telling me why they thought the videos were harmful, I finally got a reasonable discussion going with someone, and I'm gonna quote these posts literally without leaving anything out. Okay, so this person posted, as someone who legally owns and uses firearms, I do believe the manner in which you approach the game named and famed for the NRA does my hobby and the people who have been affected by firearms in their daily lives a disservice. That's fine, that's an intelligently written post disagreeing with me. Just one problem. He didn't say how it did them a disservice. That's what I want to know. I know that you believe it's doing people a disservice and harming them, but I don't understand how it's doing that. That's what I'm interested in. So I responded with, and again, this is literally what was written, I don't think there's anything wrong with you owning and shooting firearms as a hobby. I do not understand the idea that approaching the game in an entirely dull and neutral manner is somehow doing you or other people a disservice. If you want to expand on that line of reasoning, I would be glad to hear more, because I'm not trying to be stubborn, I'm just trying to enjoy my own hobby. And that post got me banned. Again, I didn't leave anything out. I'm not ashamed of what I said in any way. That's literally the post I made. I politely disagreed, and I asked him for more information. I wanted to know how my videos were hurting people, and if they were hurting people, maybe I could fix that. But nobody was able to tell me how. That's all I wanted to fucking know, was how my videos were hurting people. It's fine that they disagreed. Didn't have a single problem with that. But apparently me asking why they disagreed, it's against the rules. I checked the rules and I don't see that anywhere, but apparently that's against the rules, and I was banned for that post I just quoted directly. So, you know, maybe I'm missing something, but I thought that was pretty bullshit. This is a place I go to share and preserve video games, and I was not insulting or harmful to anyone, and when someone disagreed with me, I asked them if they could expand on their point, so I could better understand their view. So yeah, you know, getting banned over that was both hilarious and pretty pitiful. And I was willing to let it go, you know, because this is just a place where I want to share video games. But the mod that banned me, the same one that said, as a human, it was gross for me to be playing and sharing this game, that guy, he walked right into some obvious bait. Someone called him a bitch, and I would not do that. I would not call someone a bitch on internet forums. The most I have done is ask someone to chill the fuck out, because they accused me of being gross for Let's Playing Gun Club. But anyway, this moderator that banned me got called a bitch by someone else, and the moderator banned that person, and the moderator then proceeded to post the LOL emoji, with no other context or content to their post. Now, for those of you keeping track, insulting my worth as a human for Let's Playing Gun Club, maybe at least on par, if not a little bit worse than calling someone a bitch. Now, I want to stress this is just my personal belief, but I feel like if you're going to be a moderator on an internet forum, when some random guy you don't know calls you a bitch, you should be able to ignore that. That should be the bare minimum requirement for being a moderator, is to not let your emotions control you. But when he walked right into that bait, and not only banned the person, but passive-aggressively posted an emoji, which is just shitposting at this point. I decided to voice my previous criticisms without holding anything back. Granted, I still don't believe I did anything that was against the rules. I do not believe criticizing people for their moderation skills or the way they conduct themselves socially is against the rules, especially if done politely. What I said was blunt and harsh, and I more than expected to get a second ban for it, but I was hoping I wouldn't because I was really hoping the moderator was not that emotional and childish. But here are the criticisms I had for the moderator that banned me, and I did not hold anything back, like I said, though I refrained from directly insulting him, because I think that might be uncalled for. I said, let's see here. He has strange amounts of power in spite of his emotional instability. He seeks to inflate his sense of righteousness and self-worth by shutting down conversations where someone is attempting to gain perspective about others' lives and beliefs. He's the same kind of person who would hide from emotional pain and criticism via passive-aggressive emoji posting, and he is unwilling to attempt any form of diplomacy or rational discussion before accusing an individual, me, of forfeiting my humanity for playing an educational video game about gun handling. Now, given everything I'd seen, I think those criticisms are pretty fair and spot on. And this is not a normal poster, this is a moderator who should have a greater sense of responsibility and a greater sense of transparency than a normal poster. So I feel these criticisms were entirely warranted, and I do not think this person is fit to be a moderator of any kind, not just on internet forums. And the thing is, to prove me entirely wrong in my criticisms, the only thing he would have to do is A, not ban me, and B, engage me in intelligent discussion about how he composes himself as a moderator. That's all, you know? But he walked right into it again. I got banned a second time for voicing my criticisms against the moderator. So there was a moderator on the Let's Play subforums who was not only so emotionally unstable as to ban someone for having a discussion about ideological topics regarding gun ownership, but that moderator also views criticism as some sort of rule violation in itself. To recap the entire event, I posted the first video of this Let's Play. The moderator said it was disgusting for me as a human to be playing this game. I disagreed and told him to chill the fuck out. Engaged in another conversation about whether this video was actually harmful, and then was banned for inquiring into the perspective of the person I was discussing with. And then later, when I voiced my criticisms toward the moderator's unprofessional and disturbing behavior, I was banned again. The real tragic irony in this is that this video series you're watching right now, if you are still watching it, would have just gone completely unnoticed if the moderator would have just chilled the fuck out and been an actual moderator, and not had an emotional blowout over someone playing a really old PS2 gallery shooter. But, you know, because he did have an emotional meltdown over me playing this really old gallery shooter, and deciding to ask people for their perspectives on it, which is apparently an awful thing to do, these videos got far more attention. The moderator ensured that these videos that he has such a distaste for got more attention. He's directly responsible for the thing he dislikes getting more traction. You know, new people found my channel and my content and this video game because of his emotional meltdown. And the comments have been really supportive and very insightful and kind. And that's appreciated. Even if someone were to disagree with me, that would be okay too. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me. I have a problem with them disagreeing with me, and then when I try to ask for reasons they're disagreeing, they decide to completely shut down the conversation and ban me for a rules violation I'm not entirely sure what was. But there's a lesson to be learned here, and it's that even if you're a moderator on an internet forum, you're not bigger than anyone else. Your opinions don't hold more value. Your personality is not better than anyone else's. Your beliefs don't hold more weight. You know? I know it's really scary, especially to a lot of people in positions of social power. But you're not bigger or more important than anyone else. People will talk about and criticize you and the things you believe. And trying to silence that criticism just makes the criticism louder, until eventually you're making the thing you hate even stronger. So as I said back toward the beginning of the video, all of this completely blindsided me. I just wanted to share this pretty unremarkable game with as many people as I could. And I did not expect someone's ideological beliefs and unstable emotions to get in the way of that. And looking back on it, I'm not sure they did get in the way of that. They certainly tried. There was certainly an effort to make me stop playing this game. But ultimately, them repeatedly insisting this game was harmful to play and telling me not to play it without giving me a valid reason only made me want to share it more. And it drew new people to the video and the game in question. So I guess indirectly I should be thanking the moderator for being a terrible moderator and having such an emotional meltdown over someone Let's Playing a game he doesn't want them to. Because as a result, more people saw this game. And now, you know, let's actually talk about the game for a bit. This game doesn't have a lot to talk about, but we should do alright. So, this minigame, Skeet, is the only one with moving targets. And you have to lead your shotgun. You have to lead it quite a bit. But after you get used to that, the firing is actually pretty lenient. The issue is memorizing where all of the pigeons are coming from. That is the main challenge, because the score goal for the Skeet minigame is unreasonably high. So memorizing where each clay pigeon is thrown from is an absolute necessity if you want to reach the score goal in, what was it called, certification mode, that was it. Fortunately, we are not playing certification mode, so I do not have to pull my hair out over getting the optimal score. This is by far the hardest of the mini-games that the game offers, and even though it isn't hard to hit the clay pigeons individually, you don't know where they're coming from. The guy even shouts which direction they're coming from, but that isn't enough sometimes. It would be enough if the game had more reasonable expectations and let you miss more of them, but even if you're really, really good, it's still hard to get the certification score. So yeah, just one more video and then we're done here. You know, I didn't expect this Let's Play to be so exciting, but it's been a real journey so far. Unfortunately, I can't see anything getting more exciting. I feel like we're done with the thrill ride of me discussing human perception, then discussing Astro Boy, and then talking about forum drama and the importance of not you know, being a crappy moderator. Oh yeah, I suppose I should mention that the blast on some shotguns is way bigger than others. And I don't know which shotgun has the biggest blast to it, but I'm using one that seems to be relatively helpful in that field. Oh, and like I said, I'm not ashamed of anything I said or posted, but at the same time, I don't want people to get all pissy at, directly at these people, or, you know, anyone else involved. If you get pissy at me and disagree with me, that's a-okay, but I don't want anyone to go getting pissy at these other people involved, because that wouldn't fix anything at this point. It's been established that that the moderator in question believes to be beyond criticism about this particular issue, at least from me, and I don't think any attempts to discuss it with him further would go anywhere. If you manage to find the thread and the drama on your own, given the information I have already given you, then, you know, whatever. It is a public forum. And as it is a public forum, I did not post anything that I regret posting. And whenever I do post something I regret, I generally admit to regretting it. I just want to stress the reason I am not naming anyone is specifically because I do not want people going after people with those names and being pissy at them, because that would not solve anything. But I do fully intend to finish my Let's Play of this game while continuing to obey the rules, as I do not believe I have actually broken any. And after the Let's Play is finished, I will email the admin of the Let's Play archive and ask him to put it there, as I always do. You know, people kind of look down on forum drama, but in addition to being entertaining, I think it also says important things about people as a whole and how they communicate. So I've never really thought forum drama was a waste of time or trashy. I always thought I had something important to say. Anyway, that's about it for this part of NRA Gun Club. Next time will be the last time we play this game, and then I'll continue making Let's Plays for years, and we'll forget this ever happened.